DMV. But if you're tuned in, you're probably tuning in from all over the world. To you, I say welcome. Welcome to Women Uncuffed. This is Caprice Smith, the Uncuffed living expert, and I am here with the amazing Danielle Tate. Welcome, how are you?
Hi, good Caprice. It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to get all into her business. I'm telling you guys, you're in for a treat. We're going to explore this amazing book, Restoring the Lost Petal. Is so relevant and necessary. We're going to talk about some other things you have coming up as well. This is Women Uncuffed, only on the Women Broadcast Television Network. And as always, we're bringing you the most relevant, the unforgettable, the undeniable, the unstoppable. Come back every week because you are going to be in for a treat. So Danielle, tell them who you are, honey.
Okay, so my name is Danielle Tate. I am the owner of Thrive Ministries, and I am your go-to gal for the two things that most women like to shy away from: sex and money. Yeah, I've been dubbed the sex and money gal among my friends, and it's an interesting title. It's certainly not one that I thought I would wear, but when I look at what my husband and I have been through, what I have been through personally, it really is a message that I have to share of the things that I have walked through in my own life and how I can take that message that the Lord has given me and just share that with your audience and with women in the church and really help them to live free from their past.
That is so awesome. And you've thrown some money, sex, lies, cheating, all that stuff in there in one verse and then the church.
Yeah.
I like that. I love it. But I love that you are touching on some topics that really no one else is.
Yes.
So what can and we're going to talk about the book in depth in a minute, but what drove you to these two untouchable things? They're taboo. You're not supposed to talk about them.
They are, Caprice. They really are taboo. And when I looked around the climate in the church, there's very few places to get good, solid information about sex and money. Sex more so than money. That you definitely have some big name players and ministries that do talk about stewardship. But when it comes to biblical sexuality, it's really hard to find solid answers that are biblically based. It's hard to find truth. And I have been to conferences and I have seen women ask anonymous, heartbreaking questions, and they ask them anonymously because they don't know where to turn for answers to very basic questions. And unfortunately, if you just do an internet search, you're going to get answers, but they're not going to be really good answers. They're not going to be healthy answers. And our youth are internet searching answers. And the church isn't speaking loud enough. The world is screaming about sex, but the church isn't speaking
Every
loud
woman wants financial freedom to be successful and to live the good life. Financial freedom is the truest form of freedom, and it only comes if you start believing in yourself. This is the core message of Miss Corporate America Ambassador 2015 and Uncuffed living expert Caprice Smith. Caprice Smith is a proven business mentor, motivational speaker, and life coach. She will skillfully teach you how to uncuff your life by using your business and management experience to establish your own organization. This award-winning business and life coach has helped hundreds of women set up their own businesses over the years and will help you start your business venture today and prove your life skills to the world. It's time to face your fears and overcome in order for you to secure an amazing future ahead. To uncuff your life today, visit our website.
I am the owner of Thrive Ministries. My ministry is really about teaching women how to live free from their past, water their present situation, and watch their future grow. And I talk about the two things that most women shy away from, and two things that you don't hear a whole lot about in the church: sex and money. And I do that through online blogging, writing, and my latest project is my book.
So what drove you to talk about such taboo topics? I'm sure you had a lot of pushback.
I had some pushback, yes I did. But what drove me to talk about these topics was when I looked around the church, I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about these topics on the local level. You do have some big name players that talk about finances, and you can find a lot of really good, solid information about biblical finances on the internet. But one thing that you cannot find a lot of is good, solid information on biblical sexuality. And when I looked at my past and what I had been through and what I had been through with my husband together, we really kind of learned on our own. And so I really decided that there needed to be a place where people could ask questions and get some good biblical answers on questions, especially about sex, that people are asking, but not very many people are answering. When I look around, especially for our youth living in the world today, the world is screaming about sex, but the church is very silent. And this poses a great risk when we have questions that we don't know where to find answers.
Absolutely right. So we're not just educating you, we're educating your young people as well. Someone's going to give them the information. We want to make sure you have it correct. Now, my question for you is, a lot of people feel like sex is something they should already know about. There's a confidence attached to it, and mostly we don't know what in the world we're doing until much, much later in life. So I'm sure you have a lot of women my age coming to you. What are some things you're being asked?
I do. I get reader questions often, and sometimes they're surprising what I'm hearing. I'm hearing things like, is it okay to use sex toys with my husband? Is it okay to use sex toys alone? What about viewing pornography together? How should I feel about my husband's affair? And these are questions that women have but don't know where to find answers, and I'm answering those questions online.
Oh.
The highly anticipated Miss and Mrs. Corporate America pageant is right around the corner, and you can be part of the 10th annual competition that empowers professional women. We invite Miss, Mrs., and teen contestants to apply for this opportunity to build lifelong friendships, participate in speaking and networking opportunities, receive national exposure and visibility for your business, and promote your own personal community platform. This is the chance to be seen and heard by thousands of key business leaders and influencers. To become a contestant of the 2017 Miss and Mrs. Corporate America pageant, contact us at 855-622-2769 or email us at info@mscorporateamerica.com. Deadline to apply is January 1st. We'll see you March 2nd through the 4th in Orlando, Florida.
When you're responding exclusively to the person asking the question, or is it something anyone can go and read?
No, it's something anyone can go and read. My website is a myriad of topics, but one of them is biblical sexuality. And when I answer a reader question, it is always anonymous. I have people that will email me or message me or reach out to me with the question, but I always answer them anonymously, and I answer them from a balanced biblical perspective.
Summit, you will hear from 24 experts within their field. So if you're in business and you're trying to get marketing ideas and solutions, if you want to be on television and radio, if you want to know more about how to balance your health and wellness within your business or while managing your business, or maybe you want to do a charity, you want to start a nonprofit, or perhaps you feel like you know all of these things and you just want to really take it to the next level. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the 24-hour telesummit and why it could be a good fit for you. Now understand, it's not a good fit for everyone, so although I'd love for you guys all to come, it isn't for everyone. So the first module has been designed for people who have an amazing idea, but they have yet to take that first step in their business, or they've taken their first step and they're still mumbling when it comes to talking about their business. They haven't yet developed that confidence surrounding it because they have yet to experience success in it. We're going to teach you guys how to experience success and get exposure, and what are some of the basic steps that you should be following before you can get to that next level. Everybody talks about the next level, but what good is it if you're not ready for it? We're going to get you prepared and ready and enable you to open your arms and embrace those moments as they're unfolding. And the second module is designed for people a lot like myself, people who have made investments in their business, people who have experienced levels of success. But this is where we differ a little. I want you guys to know what it feels like to have your business pay for itself. to have your business grow beyond your own imagination. Am I telling you I'm going to teach you ways to make $1 million overnight? No, because trust me, if I knew that secret, I probably would not be hosting this telesummit. I'd be on my yacht somewhere. And actually, $1 million is not a lot of money in today's society. I'm shooting for $1 billion and billion plus. So if I knew those secrets, I would surely share. I don't know those secrets, but I do know what it means when people within their field who have taken the time to learn and develop their craft, perfected, they work hard on it every day, and they understand what success and happiness feels like in their business. I know what it feels like when they collaborate and come together to pour into you guys. There is a limited time offer, and I want you guys to run to capricesmith.com, click on the 24-hour telesummit, Uncuffed telesummit tab, and look at it and see if it's a good fit for you. And if it is, come on in and join us. Don't hesitate, because I promise you, you will regret hesitating. And if you think you're an expert in your field and this telesummit is just not a good fit for you, but you want to connect with me more while you're at capricesmith.com, shoot me an email. I love to collaborate. I'm having so much fun working on the book collaborations and the telesummit and
Welcome back. This is Caprice Smith, and you are tuned into Women Uncuffed, and I'm here with the Miss Danielle Tate, and she's teaching us how to restore the lost petal. I love that. I truly love that. Now, you've written your book. You put a lot of things in this book. It's so interesting. Were you afraid to put so much in it?
I was very timid at first when I started writing the book, but the book came to me actually as a vision from the Lord to do a live women's retreat, or girls retreat I should say, with the girls at our church, our youth group.
Oh.
And so I went to our pastor, and she mentioned that there was actually a youth retreat being planned, and I presented this session at the youth group, and I couldn't let it go. It kept coming back to me, and so I kept saying, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And he told me to write. And so it is a very vulnerable thing to put your past on paper for everyone to see. But when you have a message and the Lord gives you something that he wants you to talk about, you need to do it. Whether it's in book form or online, when the Lord gives us something, especially something that we've been through, and then he shows us how to recover from that, it's really a calling on our lives and something that we're supposed to be teaching, or we're supposed to be sharing with others. And if we don't do that, we are potentially stopping someone else from receiving the healing and the restoration.
Now, what can we expect from your book?
So in my book, I walk through the process of healing. And I also dispel some myths on purity, some myths on modesty that too much of the church culture just thinks of as closed lips and long hemlines. And really, purity and modesty are much more than that. And then my favorite chapter, The Road to Restoration, I walk through the keys to forgiveness. And it's very important when we talk about restoration, whether it's from a sexual perspective, whether it was something that you willingly chose to do sexually, or something that happened to you that was of a violent nature. There are areas of forgiveness that we need to walk through, and there's 3 key areas there. And so I go into those 3 key areas and walk you through some prayers that you can pray, whether it's alone or with a mentor, that you can walk through these keys to forgiveness and really find that freedom that you need.
Amazing. Now, I know this has spun off into many directions. Tell me, where have you gone and where are you heading?
Well, where I'm heading for sure is to do some, possibly some online Bible studies with this. I would really like to get this in the hands of some women and then do some intimate studies with them. In the works, I have a devotional that will be eventually coming out for this. So it's a little more in-depth study on the book. So if you get the book, there are questions in the book. There's a reflection time in each chapter that you can just have a chance to write down some answers to some questions and really dig deep inside you and find out where your roots of unforgiveness might be and what things you need to work on for yourself. But then I'm hoping that in the devotional that will be coming out, we'll go even deeper still and just really be able to begin that healing process, especially for women who feel like no matter what happened to them, that it was their fault. And I find that that is a huge, huge stumbling block for women. Even if women were sexually abused, there's that lie that comes back to them that it was their fault. And that needs to be broken. The enemy likes to get in there and twist what happened and make it all about you, and it's not about you. It's about him for forgiving the other person, forgiving yourself, and letting go of anything that you think you did when the reality is there may have been nothing you could have done differently in the situation. So I'm hoping to really dig into those and explore that and bring some real healing. In my coaching business, I am coaching women on how to live free from their past, whatever that may be. It could be a financial mistake. It could be a sexual mistake. It could be some promiscuity in their past that they need to get over. And so what you'll find in my coaching business is a biblical approach. I will pray with you. I will assign you some homework, and I will hold you accountable for following through. We really focus in on what is the Lord touching on in your life right now. What is he speaking to you? What do you need to master? And what do you need to overcome to move to that next level? We are all assigned. The Bible says that he knew us before we were born, and we are created with a purpose that he has for our lives. And so we need to stay in our lane of convergence. And a lot of times we go outside that. If you think of it like a boulevard, and we drive off the side of the road. And so in my coaching, I want to help you get back in that lane of convergence, because when you're living free from your past, when you know that your past is behind you and you understand what the Lord has for you today, it'll help you stay in that lane of convergence, and it will help you to find what God has planned.
Uncuffed, you have been listening to the amazing Danielle Tate, and she's been talking about sex and about money, but this is Uncuffed television, so I can't let you leave without touching on that one big thing that happens in your book that it kind of took me by surprise. But how did it make you feel? Like, do you hear this a lot from other women?
I do. I hear a lot that, oh my gosh, that happened to you, because I thought I was the only one, or I didn't even realize I was believing a lie, and I was. And so I do. I hear that a lot when people get in the book and really start to read and realize that even things that they didn't think they were thinking, they are, because I've written it down and put it on paper for them.
That is so awesome. So you guys are probably wondering, what are they talking about? Oh, you have to get the book, Restoring the Lost Petal.
So the other big piece to my ministry is the biblical stewardship, or the financial piece of my coaching. And you can find more about that at danielletate.org/budget coaching. In budget coaching, what you will receive is a monthly meeting with me or any of the other coaches in the program, and you will learn how to handle your finances, starting from creating a budget all the way up to establishing wealth for yourself in retirement. This is such a great program because I have clients from all backgrounds, from making $20,000 a year to making $200,000 a year. But the thing about finances is that I've dealt with CEOs and CFOs of corporations that can handle million-dollar transactions, but can't handle their own budgets. And the beauty is that when I can work with someone and I can help them to grow from not knowing anything about their budget to building a budget where they are saving money, they are out of debt, and they are working on saving for retirement, it's such a great feeling. And I get to watch clients blossom and grow. And in the budget coaching, you will have a chance to realize financial goals for yourself. What do you want to do with your finances, and how can I help you get there?
You're tuned into Women Uncuffed. As always, I promise to bring you the best of the best. We're going to talk about all of the things you were told not to talk about, and we're going to talk about them loudly so that we can all live uncuffed. I'm not stopping until I've uncuffed a whole nation of women. If you'd like to be a guest, or if you'd like to sponsor our show, or just stop through and say hello and share how you're living uncuffed, feel free to do so. Go to womenuncuffed.com and follow me on everything Caprice Lives Uncuffed.
Just not living. And when you're living uncuffed, you can talk about sex, you can talk about money, and you can do it all for the glory of God.
thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. It's been so much fun.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. This has been a blast.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Women Uncuffed.